Over the weekend, iDubbbz dropped a follow-up to his content cop on H3 called Content Deputy. This pretty much went over Ethan's response to him on stream, which we went over on the first episode of this series, along with Ethan's criticisms towards iDubbbz that were levied against him over the last week. Now, we've already gone over the Creator Clash 3 fallout and the Ethan Klein and Hasan debates, but there is still plenty that the internet has to say, such as debate and conversation around Ian defending the CPS call that happened on Ethan and his kids over the whole Giardia situation, and a whole bunch more. Welcome to the internet versus Content Deputy. It starts out when iDubbbz announces the video and attaches a picture of his dog with the caption, "New upload." Atuka replies with this picture of iDubbbz in the caption, "Our silence means something." Cody Cat replies, "The like versus dislike argument you made in the video is hilarious when you're getting cooked in the replies literally everywhere." T-Money replies, "Do you cry in this one as well, you fucking pussy?" Catfilla says, 30 minutes of straight coping. Comment Cop tweets out a screenshot of the thumbnail with the caption, "iDubbbz humiliation ritual continues." And Pimp Master Yoda replies, "Back when iDubbbz first announced he was doing another content cop, I made a poll on who it was going to be on. This poll included H3 and iDubbbz himself since he hated his own content pre-Anissa. Little did I know his videos ended up being on both Ethan and himself." Mr. B replies to Comment Cop by saying, "It's really bad. He had to make something because his wife's boyfriend Hasan got owned yesterday." And for reference, he's talking about the debate between him and Ethan, which we covered some of the highlights on this channel as well. Apathy is Dead replies, "Bro literally runs defense for the CPS call in the vid." Winky replies to Comment Cop by saying, "Damn, Sam Hyde really broke him. Sad." Comment Cop then quote tweets himself with this picture in the caption, "It's somehow worse than the first video," and it's iDubbbz sucking a mic saying absolute cope. Kaguya's Top Gal replies, "Ruined my career over pussy award." Right side of history Cody says, "I mean, he did call him out on a couple of points like the sword, but that's not really saying much in the grand scheme of things. Also, has this man never seen a child? They will put anything in their mouth if given the chance. It's why lead used toys fell off." Brogan tweets out that she will be live reacting to Content Deputy, and Ellendor replies, "Wait, so you're spending time reacting to drama content instead of talking about developments with the IP conflict? Where's the urgency for innocent Palestinians?" Dynasty Chad replies to Frogan by saying, "Keep oinking, piggy." Yeet also tweets out a screenshot of the Content Deputy saying, "Lol," and Omni replies, "Another one?" Joshi replies with a popcorn bucket emoji, and Eric Alexander replies with this gif in the caption, "Hey Manji, I heard Keem wanted you for lolcow." Killa Season Cam replies, "Is this not him in a really soy-cucked out way saying, fuck kids, fuck cancer, fuck charity, I'd rather be a soft edgy Hasan taint licker? These fucking idiots totally tanked their event, tanked the public image of the event, and are just washing their hands of it and walking away." And attaches this clip.
We are, I think just going to be known as the founders of the event. Yeah, I mean, I think it had to come to this eventually. I can't keep my mouth shut. I can't, I can. I just didn't want to. I want to be frank. I want to be honest. I was very quiet during the second Creator Clash because I was afraid of how that would impact other people. This year I said I'm going to do something different. I'm going to fight back if someone's trying to attack me. So that's what I did. And now I've realized, I can't really have my cake and eat it too. It's either you're going to talk shit like a foul beast on the internet, or you're going to have a charity event. It really can't be both.
El Gianoli replies, "He was blaming H3 for the failure of Creator Clash. How?" New York City Rat King replies to Yeet by saying, "You were triggered about the CPS thing is such an insane take. Obviously he'd be pissed off. You took the side of the people that perpetuated that." And Flurry Blumpton replies, "Hot take, letting your children eat dog shit is legitimate grounds for a CPS call." And Rat King replies, "Didn't happen, bad rage bait. Send me a video of you walking up 2 flights of stairs without getting gassed out." Sar Walls replies, "The fact that he's blaming Ethan for Creator Clash becoming an absolute shit show is next level cope. This clown is adamant about destroying whatever's left of his career. Brutal." Nicholas Duario also tweets out that the Content Deputy is live, and Mr. Gon replies, "Oh god, he's getting desperate. Well, I guess he could wait since CC3 is in the shitter." Dexo replies, "I'm not giving Ian any views. I'll wait for your review and breakdown, lol." Nick then follows up his tweet by saying, "I can't believe I'm in a Content Deputy video," attaching this image showing that Ela Klein donated to Nick saying, "Can't wait for them to blame us for their failed event. Also, hey Saint Nick," Andy Worski replies, "You made it, bud." Willie Maxshow says, "Yo, no way." Rusty Cage replies, "This is not a good thing." Probable Spam replies to this picture that dislikes and captions it by saying, "It's only been 9 hours." Mario tweets out, "iDubbbz releases Content Deputy H3. The internet, you didn't learn anything." James Young replies, "iDubbbz could have taken up any hobby and just made weekly videos about it with his audience and reputation and live off of that. Millions of good choices and he picked the bad one." Yeet tweets out this clip with the caption, "Papa Gut finds out that iDubbbz might have manipulated the timeline of the CPS events in his Ethan Klein Content Deputy."
CPS visits Ethan and Hila, and that same day, they decide, let's do our podcast, and let's have the topic be the CPS visit. Right after it, you guys talk about me and Anissa, but you don't just talk about it.
But like what you just showed us was that like there was what, like 2 days that you guys had to say something publicly? They're not a continuous harassment campaign. Your editor is like harassing them, then the call to CPS happens. I'm assuming this is when we found out about it. What? Then Ian shits on iDubbbz. Okay, there's something off here. I have to. Okay, all right, hold on. All right, they give it 5,000 to find. The problem is that he isn't acknowledging that Ethan was getting called a bad parent before the call itself had happened. Yeah, that's true. Wait, hold on a second. Hold on. Wait, no, this doesn't make any sense. Wait. The CPS getting called was not the start of the event. He's trying to lie and reframe the situation as if, well, how do we know the CPS just got called? How are we supposed to know all that? Because this was an ongoing thing. Ethan was talking about this for how long before this episode? What are you talking about? Like, it started with them putting in this weird lie that he abuses his children, basically, and they roll around in shit. That was your friend who was doing it, or your wife's friend who was doing it. And then it carried over into CPS actually getting called. Who fucking cares when CPS got called? Oh my god, this guy's a loser. He just lied outright. He lied. He tried to manipulate the time frame. This guy's a dishonest piece of dog shit.
And Bashia TV replies, "In action," showing this picture that says the Hasan system: hide, ignore critics' content to obscure the argument, alter, drastically misrepresent the opposing view, strawman, attack the misrepresentation by grouping critics with deplorables, avoid, debate only weaker opponents, never the original person, and name call, label frustrated opposition as crazy or obsessed to discredit them. Mostri Digoma posts on the HasanPiker subreddit the Content Deputy video, and recording nervous replies, "He came with the receipts. I love the timelines. Ethan is actually mentally ill and just verbal diarrheas every stream." And Beepachu replies, "Verbal and literal, apparently." And Your Burrito says, "Dare anyone to go look at the H3 subs reaction to it. Yikes." August Gardner replies, "The comments have already been brigaded. More jobless neats than the iDubbbz fans." And Radiohead replies, "The one advantage the DDG/Asmon/Ethan crew have is that their followers are infinitely more pathetic and ghoulish." And August says, "All better to ignore them then." Demolition replies, "Ian is back for good. I feel like he'll be content copying all the fascists now." And Waffle Monster says, "After all the soul searching, it seems like he found a purpose and way for his platform to be used for good." Drama Alert tweets out this clip with a caption, "iDubbbz says Ethan is to blame for CPS getting called on himself."
Other people react to his content, and when other people see that he's talking about his children getting giardia from dog poop.
Sonny's crawling around. He's putting everything in his mouth. He's at that age. He has giardia.
People are quite reasonably concerned. And so, yes, anyone who's seeing that content might be concerned enough to call CPS, including Ethan's own chat, which, by the way, is not a measly number. It's about 26,000 at the time of this stream. So there are 26,000 people listening to Ethan go into great detail over 7 or 8 minutes about diarrhea, viscosity of diarrhea, his child having giardia, him and his whole family having giardia. They're calling it the poop house. Now what Ethan does, instead of taking any responsibility for sharing too much on his live stream, is that he decides to attack specific creators like Denims and say she was the source of the CPS call because her chat was reacting to Ethan.
Bat Sauce replies, "Childless behavior. All young kids try to put everything in their mouth. Every parent knows this." And Hara Kareem replies, "If your kid is putting dog shit in his mouth, you need a CPS called." And Andy says, "CPS are for kids whose families abuse them. Drug abuse, neglect, violence. My sister works for New Jersey CPS and this would be a nothing burger if they were called." Drama Alert also tweets out another clip with the caption, "iDubbbz compares being punched in the face to Ethan doing jumping jacks."
Talks about the potential CPS CTE that I might have after boxing.
Yes.
Ethan, your whole system is scrambled.
No, your brain is scrambled from getting punched in the face too many times because you don't understand the situation. Some people are saying the CTE is starting to take effect, I guess. That would be comforting if there was some explanation at least.
Any amount of CTE that I may have endured after doing 2 boxing matches, I'm gonna say is preferred over having to share the load of doing 50 jumping jacks with my wife.
Jack,
What if we do both do them? We'll both do 25 at once.
25 each? 4.
Oh my goodness.
Great form by both.
Really nice. They must work out.
And Sir Yapalot replies, both of their brains are scrambled. LolCalLive also tweets out, Dear iDubbbz, it's over, brother. Time to get a show on the LCU network and have Keemstar save your career. A German viewer posts in the H3H3 production subreddit, Ethan seeing iDubbbz upload content deputy after dealing with content cop, debating Sam Cedar and HasanPiker, and it's Captain America saying, I can do this all day. Raisin Cookie replies, I saw a comment on Twitter out of all places that compared Ethan to him, basically 1v10ing everyone at the moment, which is quite the apt comparison. And Interchain replies, it's kind of crazy how these people are doing everything in their power to get people to turn on Ethan. People like Sam Cedar or Dr. Kirk Honda who could actually hear Ethan out to get preemptively fed the snark propaganda to make sure nobody is on Ethan's side. And after that, these people all band together to make hate video after hate video on him. They're even trying to make the crew quit so that Ethan is absolutely alone. A punishment worthy of what crime exactly? The debates between him and Sam Cedar or Hasan only prove that they agree on most things when it comes to IP. To Ethan's credit, he does a good job responding, but it's becoming clear how disingenuous these people are. They will never acknowledge any of his responses or his criticisms of them. They will just try to clip him out of context to fuel the hate campaign, which they are all monetizing. It's almost like a money glitch for them. Ethan's opinions, not to mention his mental health, are irrelevant to them because they only care about the money they can make and the self-induced sense of moral superiority. Carlos Champion replies, as much as I want to see an entire episode on Monday of Ethan responding to content deputy, I think he deserves a break. That Friday episode must have been exhausting. Rest up, King. And Romano Thorns replies, I'm kind of hoping he ignores it. Let Ian scream into the void of irrelevancy. I know he won't ignore it though. Smite might post the video on the iDubbbz subreddit, and Inakil Bisu replies, just stopped subbing to the H3 subreddit. Ian made some good points in his video, and honestly, people are snarling for nothing. And Anita Bongtok says, I stopped over a year ago once Ethan started lying about Hasan. I caught it live, and when I tried to correct people on that subreddit, Hasan denying ours, they freaked the fuck out. They demanded I show immediate proof, which I couldn't do as I was on mobile, and I don't even know how to clip vids, lol, I'm a boomer. I just pointed to the stream and roughly where it was. They called me a piece of shit for that. Ignoramus replies, instead of wasting hundreds of thousands of dollars on frivolous lawsuits, I think Ethan should spend that money on an expensive 2-week mindfulness retreat where he can decompress alongside other horribly out-of-touch rich people. And R's comparator says, dude should check into one of those fancy voluntary rehab facilities and talk to a professional for a while. I am DJ Dan replies, wait, so Ethan outright stated that him, Ela, and one of his kids had Giardia? I did not know this. He makes it seem like people jumped to that conclusion. He's the one that fed them that information. And he told Dan that he would have to ingest his shit to get it? Well, no fucking wonder people were concerned. That and covering Denim's real chats are super damaging for him. Khalid Muhammad Khalid posts in our Internet versus members only Discord and says, how does iDubbbz not see that what happened to Ethan, Hasan, and that whole community turning on him will happen to him too as soon as he says one minor thing that they don't agree with? Even Ethan was warned about this and didn't listen, and now he's dealing with this. Ethan didn't deserve it, but iDubbbz does. And Bitterly says in our Internet versus members only Discord, this event will follow those two even after they try to scrub their names from it. Also, the same hidden people that ruined last year's event are fully in charge now. What a shit show. And like I predicted, they are using the Tiltify as a meat shield. And according to Nick's stream where he talked to Harley, that's the total amount going to charity. It is literally a boxing event with a Tiltify charity page, not a charity event. It's actually insane. The cycle will never end. Attaching this image of Mr. Bones Wild Ride. Then over on our ClippedLive subreddit, D's Nuts lol posts thoughts on the content deputy. I'm more focused on Mama Max because it's more fun to be honest. And Katsuya replies, so Ian and his group of Twitch friends fucked up the Creator Clash event. And in response, Ian and his wife are bailing out while dumping the entire mess on somebody else's lap to clean up, while attempting to paint himself as Mr. Morale. Actually fucked. And OP replies, to be honest, I'm more concerned about the arguments they made because I don't care about CC3. Greedy Emphasis replies to OP by saying, my favorite bit, Frogan did not make a bag from this, had a subathon where she wanted to create 9/11, begs for rent on stream, an apology video, plugged a podcast. Why do people stand by her? The biggest question I have. Shout out to our tier 3 members, internet representatives Kiko and Salsal. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I'll see you in the next episode.